What's up, guys? So continuing on with our Zeta Superion, going back to robot mode form of T.A.R.O that I've got going on here. That was a big mouthful, I apologize. We're gonna go with Fireflight here. This one I can kind of remember the name of. And he is the most problematic because he was the one with the worst QC issues. By that I mean he came with a part that's wrong that actually inhibits most of the function of what we need to do. But more specifically in this mode, it really does hinder things. Now, his transformation is almost identical to the previous one because they are, basically mold mates. Now, I'm going to start off by removing the wings. Just get those out of the way, make my life a little bit easier. We're going to do the legs first because I foolishly did them kind of after trying to do the upper torso before, and that just led to complications. Now, I will say that out of the box, the legs were not 100%. I actually had to finagle some things. So you can see here, this little tiny red peg that's in that hole, that was not even in the hole, so to speak, when I first got this thing. So we need to unplug that, and we'll unfold the knee. These knee joints are very tight. Also, you can see here, this is where the clasp here needs to go on the track, and I ended up having to actually trim that ever so slightly with a sharp knife for clearance sake because I could not get the knee to 100% collapse in there. And you can see now the joints are so stiff, like it's having a hard time getting there. So this is roughly how it was out of the box. You have to get it all the way closed, and it's not. There we go. Hear the click. So the other guy goes on super smooth in comparison. Also, these pop off. This is another QC problem. One of these is actually put on wrong, leading me to believe the opposite one was in fact put on wrong. So this guy in particular has had more issues than the rest. So we'll come down here, we'll just flip out the footsie. I like his foot a little bit better than the other guys. And then we'll just close this up. And as previously stated, if that's not in the right space, you're not going to be able to close this. So let's actually straighten that out. That was what was blocking me. There we go. Now we'll do the same thing over here. Unplug. Get it to break loose. Get this lined up. And do it till it clicks. Flip out the toesy. You'll see like this little hinge here was what was keeping it from getting closed a second ago. And then the legs are benzo. That's not too bad. Just straighten them out as best I can. Now we need to come up. Hold on. There. So, like I said, the upper torso, all this is exactly the same as well, with the exception of the one part that is wrong. So I'm going to open this up. And instantly you see like the head part is hanging out the bottom like that. So that's about as far up as that's going to get. Now the part that is wrong is right here. You'll notice that has a red clippy. This does not have a red clippy. I guess it's not really a clip, but what you'll see here is just this guy. Let's see if I can unplug it. I can unplug it when I'm not meaning to, but you can see there. So it's got that part right inside there, and you can see it better. Should be on this side. This is the same as this part. Hence why it's not doing anything, and I lose all that stability. Now, what I'm gonna do after this video, and prior to maybe the actual full-on review, I'm gonna take this apart. Like I said, this just comes unclipped, and I'm gonna try to cut that off as clean as I can and just glue it over here. It's really not worth trying to get an entire replacement part or even a full-on replacement bot for this, when I can just literally just substitute that part. The little tab here that helps it is not super important, so we're not even gonna worry about that. So what we want to do, go ahead and drop the arm. Sorry, hey, you stay there. Just like we did before, we want to bring all this out as best we can. Come on, push that forward, maybe that'll help. There we go. There's a little stuck, so it slaps into this little tab right there, and then all this comes out. Like I said, we'll do that number, and because this isn't super tabbed into anything, it comes off a little easy. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. So it comes off that easy. And there was a tab right there. You can see how I cut it off. That actually pegs into the forearm in jet mode, if I remember correctly. So it's actually not that important, if I'm honest with you. So let's get the elbow in the right spot. I'll rotate the torso. Once again, do not rotate it up there. Rotate down here, because you will just flat out snap that off. Okay, we want to compact that like that. We want the combiner peg to go up. I forgot. Combiner peg has to go up and through the bottom. I always forget that part. Super heavy ratchets. Come on, buddy. What's in the way? It's hitting down here. Why wouldn't it hit up? Did I really just get my finger stuck there? I did. Okay, so perhaps it does go all the way up this way. Yeah, it did. I didn't think it was going to clear that, and it did. So, my bad. I know. I can hear the people. Guys, you should really transform it more often before you do this. Actually, it's really not that difficult, but they all transform similarly and then differently at the same time. So there's a couple little things here and there I'll forget. It's one of those things that, you know, if you're a Transformers fan, you basically have this giant Rolodex in your head of how transformations go. And, you know, new stuff comes along. You kind of have to adopt that new information and stuff. Okay, so you can see how all this side tabs in and stuff like that. So without this piece, it's still functionally okay over here. So it can live without that very specific tab in that very specific place. So don't really worry about that. So I'm going to take my knife, I'm going to clean this part up, and I'm going to trim this off and just move it over here. And then it'll at least have the stability to do combined mode at best. And then perhaps it'll gain a little bit in here. Oh, I did forget to flip those thingies down again. Oh, jeez. I always forget these things. Flip it. Come on. Come on. Oh, now it's just got... There we go. Come on. There we go. Just got a clearance through there. I will say these particular little flaps are annoying. I'm pretty sure I said that on the other guy. I'm saying it again here, because they are really kind of annoying for what they are. Okay, so push everybody back up. Line up the tabs. Didn't line that one up. There we go. Really? Okay. Alright. Close those. Then flip the head up. Tab the head back down. Ah, jeez. And no, I won't edit out my mistakes because, frankly, you're gonna make them too. So it's worth seeing. But this is good practice for when I have to do it the other way in the full-on review. As you guys should know, I do these videos first before the main review, because this is me mostly prepping for how to get them into where they're going to start in the main videos. So, by the way, just talking my way through it, just double hinge that down, do what you got to do to clearance the hand. This part might pop off on you, you never know. Watch your thumb, because that will pop off on you as well. So there we go, we got him, I believe, in his robot mode, and he's the derpiest of all derps. So it is what it is. And then we'll grab our wings and plug these on into these holes, the top holes, I believe. And then just kind of fold them back however you want. You can always leave the wings off if you're down for that. If you're going to leave them in one mode over the other, by all means. you know, tuck your wings away however you want. Like, I don't know that there's necessarily a good way. It's just kind of find the way that works for you. If that's stuck out too far. There we go. So, there we go. There's Fireflight in robot mode and ready to go for the main review. The funny thing is, I never noticed how much he looks like a cone head if you're just like that. It's funny. It's really funny. And, yeah, once again, I'm going to try to clean up this part and modify it. You know, there's nothing I can do about this to like flip it over here, but I can definitely cut this off as clean as I can, and I'm going to super glue the crap out of it over here. So I'm fairly certain this is ABS. It was probably styrene to make my life real easy because I could just go, but super glue will definitely suffice for that. I mean, considering what it's going to do. But guys, make sure you come back for the actual review, or make sure you go watch the actual review if you didn't, and then by all means, oh, hey there, buddy. I don't know if that's too much. By all means, like the video, subscribe, do all the things. So I'll catch you guys later, and remember, as always, keep on flying.